Hey there, this is Dr. Amy from the Night Watch. In this video, we're going to talk about COVID-related stress and your kids. So if you can scroll down any social media you're on, with Facebook, Instagram, whatever, we see grown people having trouble dealing with the stress of this pandemic. Now, here's the thing. None of us have ever really lived through anything like this. So there's no like guidebook. There's no parenting handbook. There's no business handbook. So childcare centers, parents, we're all just kind of winging it. Educators, schools, we're all just trying to figure this out. And we actually have coping strategies, and we have the words and the verbiage to get it out. Our littles don't. Now, if you've noticed any different behaviors with your kids, this could be a lot more whining. I want to hang on you. I want to cuddle more, or even bedwetting. I know at our overnight center, we've been seeing a lot more bedwetting, nightmares, things like that. And it's all stress. The kids are stressed out. They're feeling our stress. And, all of a sudden their friends were taken from them. They weren't allowed to go to school anymore. They have to wear these masks. They're not really sure what's going on. They're hearing words like social distancing and pandemic and corona. And one of our 5-year-olds was laughing and he said, "I got the Rona." And I thought like it was funny, but I'm like, does he even know what that means? We've got kids that are just like hearing all these new things. They're going to the store and seeing X's on the floor of how far you can stand apart. There may be a line going into the grocery store. So they're seeing all of these things. And I don't know if people are giving them answers because we don't have the answers. So it's kind of hard to address a conversation with a kid when you don't really know the answers. So if your kid's stressed, something, again, bedwetting, whiny, agitated, they might have a change in their diet. They may not want to sleep at all, or they may be super lethargic. I know, like, when I get really stressed out, it wears me out. And even when I was younger, like, I'd take a nap real quick. If I was like stressed out, that's what I would do. So some things that maybe you can do with your kids, if they're younger, well, I would do this for any of your kids. So promote just healthy living, having foods that are natural, fruits, vegetables, things like that, making sure they're drinking lots of water. Because that is one way you can help fight this pandemic. But it's also going to help with stress, exercising, even if it's just making TikTok videos or, getting outside and running around the backyard, those endorphins are going to decrease in stress. Having a routine in place, like a set bedtime, and kids aren't in school right now, and I get a lot of, it's going to bump right into summer vacation, but making sure that they're getting their, 8 to 10 hours of sleep. The little ones need at least 10 hours of sleep, including like naps. So you want to make sure that they're getting their sleep. And these are things that you can control in your home. So if you're feeling like, I don't know what to do because, if you're feeling helpless, there are things you can do in your home. Can you keep all of the germs off of your child? No. But what you can do is make sure that they're eating good foods, that they're getting enough rest, and that you're trying to just bring the woosah in your home so that they have a safe haven. This morning, I woke up, I really wasn't feeling like myself, and I really wasn't sure what was going on. I'm sure it's just stress in general from all of this. And then I just took a bath, and I had made myself a cup of tea, and I sat in that bath for a while, and I listened to some music, and I felt better. And it may happen again, and I might have to do another hot bath tomorrow or later today, but it was something that worked for me, and it does work for kids. So taking a warm bath or drawing a picture, that's something helpful. And even having conversations. So the other night, my 5-year-old at the center, she's been exhibiting some of these symptoms, and some of the bedwetting and not wanting to go to sleep at night, waking up in the middle of the night with a nightmare. So her and I have been having these little like talks before bed. And what we did the other night was I made a dream bag. I had one of those plastic bags you put like gifts in, so they had like, you could see through it as a clear bag, usually like candy or whatever, but you could use a sandwich bag. So I told her it was like my special dream bag, and I had my special pen, and we wrote on it what she wanted to have a dream about. She wanted to have a dream that she was playing with a friend in a park. And so I put that on there, and I was like, okay, so you make a wish, and you take a deep breath, and you blow the dream and the wish into the bag. And then she blew it in, and I closed it up, and I put it under her pillow, and then she was going to go to sleep. So just being willing to think outside the box of things that you can make things fun with them, to try to ease some stress. Because the goal of all this, the corona, whatever that's going to look like when it's over, I don't even know if that's going to be over, but kids are going to come in contact with stress regardless, whether it's school related or work related, as they get older, relationship related, whatever it is, they're going to be stressed out. And what we want to do when they're little is to start teaching them these coping strategies that are healthy. We don't want them turning to, being a food addict or turning to drugs and alcohol to cope with stress. We don't want them getting into toxic relationships because they feel like that's all that they can do. Like they don't want to step outside of a comfort zone to maybe go meet new people, like whatever it is. I mean, stress is going to follow them into adulthood. And so what we can do now is teach them things like talking about your feelings. Have we asked the kids, hey, what do you think is going on? What do you think's going on? That might be a question you want to ask your kids. Because normally when something big like this happens, like schools would be the ones to make an announcement, do some kind of lesson, but this didn't happen. And I don't know if teachers individually are talking about the virus in their lessons or talking about what's going on. I don't know. I'm not a student and I don't have any kids in school. So I don't know if they're talking about any of that, but somebody needs to. Somebody needs to be having conversation with these kids. What do you think is going on? Do you feel safe? That's another question you want to ask. And if they say no, or they're not sure what's going on, use your discretion. But just simple as there's a sickness going around and we just need to be really healthy. That's all we got to be really healthy. We're just going to like wash our hands. We're going to start eating like fruits and vegetables. We're going to cut out sodas. Like we're going to drink a lot of water. We're going to take walks. We're going to make, do Zumba classes or make TikTok videos or like whatever your plan is. There are things that we can control, but you can control the activities that are going on in your home. You can control what types of foods they're eating. You can control the bedtime, and you just reassure them, like, we're going to be super healthy. There's no shortage of food. We're not going to run out of food. We can go to the doctor. Like, these are all things that are true. You can, if you're showing symptoms, you can go to the doctor. If you don't feel well, you can stay home. Totally fine to do. So just reassuring them some things that you 100% can do. But again, just be open to different, like ask them about what they'd like to do to calm down. Give them some options, maybe even like a menu or a checklist. Another thing you may want to ask is ask them how they're feeling and give them words. If you have like maybe a 4 or 5 year old, how are you feeling? They may say fine because that's what they hear us say, but maybe give them options. How are you feeling this morning? Are you feeling sad or upset or nervous? Are you happy? Like giving them maybe a couple of choices is going to do a couple of things. One, it's going to allow you to assess their kind of emotional mental state at the time. And two, it's going to give them the words. So when they are frustrated, they know the word. I am frustrated. I am angry. And especially those kids that tantrum a lot, like that 3-year-old, that's the big problem, is that they have an issue and they can't get it across to you. I mean, imagine being somewhere where you didn't speak the language and you had a problem and no one understood you. And the only thing you did was just kept getting louder and angrier because they don't understand you. And that's exactly what's happening with a toddler. Like whether it's they're too tired or like whatever it is keeping them from conveying what they need. So helping our kids find healthy coping strategies is a lifelong life skill and is really important. And right now is like an awesome opportunity because some parents are home, because some of you guys are home. Kids have, it's not like they're in a class of 30 kids. Like, a guidance counselor could do a lesson like this with a whole group of kids, but this kind of stuff needs to be done at home because I feel like I was a school teacher for a long time and we would do these like little timeout, like these like toolkits for kids that would get stressed and they'd be like coloring sheets and that kind of stuff. Cause there's only so many things we could do in school. But at home, you can take a bath. You can do an art project. You can take a nap. You can play with a friend. You can go run outside. Like, let's just get a menu ready to go. So, we want to guide them to the proper choices because if we don't give them choices, they're going to find something to do. And while they're little, it might just be tear up your home and drive you crazy. But when they get older, it's going to be bad choices, bad people, bad situations, and we just want to kind of avoid all that. So, all right, well, I hope this video was helpful. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.